Hello, and welcome to the Introduction to Bill.com product tour. I'm Brandon Roth, Senior Manager of Technical Marketing here at Bill.com, and today I'll be your guide. Bill.com is a leader in financial process automation, trusted by over 80% of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms and their clients. We partner with leading U.S. financial institutions, and over $100 billion is processed annually through our platform. Millions are paying and getting paid with Bill.com. We integrate with leading Intuit solutions, QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, and Enterprise. Today's AP process is highly inefficient. It's paper intensive and is fraught with risk. This is where a lot of time and money is being wasted in the business. Here at Bill.com, we've created a simple and efficient 4-step process to help take away those headaches. And it all starts with the Bill.com inbox, where we help capture important financial details and reduce manual data entry. Approval workflows become almost automatic, and you can approve anytime, anywhere with the Bill.com mobile app. Multiple payment options from a single dashboard to pay your vendors the way they want to be paid. And finally, syncing this information over to QuickBooks and maintaining a full audit trail along the way.
So now that we've learned about the simplified 4-step process of Bill.com, let's log in and see it in action. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as our accountant. Now, as an accounting firm, you have access to what's called the Client Management Console. Within this console, you can manage all of your clients in one place, your staff, their user roles, even have firm-wide reporting of your AP and AR financial information for your firm. As a business using Bill.com, you would log in and come in directly into your account. Now, within your account, you can see a few things right off the bat. Number one, you have a to-do list on the right-hand side. So anything that needs to be done within Bill.com, you can easily click in and see a report so that you can check these off as you go. Keeps you on top of everything that you need to do. Left-hand side, you got a quick action bar. We can very quickly navigate through Bill.com and get anything done within just a couple of clicks. High-level overview, that's the overview screen we see now. Inbox, which we'll get to in just a moment, and document storage, where you can store all of your documents related to AR and AP all in one place. Under your payables tools, you have access to your vendors, approvals. You can create bills, or these are bills that also need to be paid. And then you have access to your audit trail as well. Light reporting tool within Bill.com, you can see everything about your cash flow when it comes to AR and AP. Access to support, great articles, how-to videos, step-by-step checklists to keep you supported. And of course, you can chat with us anytime. You can also learn more about international payments and our relationship with Divvy, who we just acquired recently. On the top side of Bill.com, you can quickly switch between companies if you have multiple locations, or if you're an accounting firm, switch between clients very easily. Very intelligent search bar right here on top, where you can search by name, invoice number, amount, down to the decimal, whatever you might need to get around Bill.com quickly. You also have access to our vendor network. Millions of vendors are already getting paid through Bill.com via ACH and e-payments by simply sending them an invitation. Send your vendor an invitation. They will actually manage their own billing information, their bank account information, their contact information themselves, and it doesn't cost them anything. It allows you to quickly pay them via ACH. To-do list, I showed you before, you can quickly access this here anytime. And recent, anything that you were working on within Bill.com, if you jump out, you can jump right back in very quickly. The sync button here at the top allows you to quickly sync with QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, or Enterprise on demand. QuickBooks Online will also sync once every 24 hours automatically after the first sync. The settings within Bill.com, I won't get too deep into the weeds with you, but just know that Bill.com is very customizable when it comes to user roles, workflow, your separation of duties. Bill.com works for companies as small as one-person startups all the way up to very large mid-market corporations. Now here on the overview screen, again, we can see money in, money out, all of your cash flow when it comes to AR and AP. And we can very quickly create a bill, create an invoice, look at bill approvals that might be assigned to us, and also get paid. What we want to show is that four-step process. So let's jump into the inbox where it all begins. Now, when you jump into the inbox, first thing you'll see up here at the top, this is the unique email address for this particular company. We can change it to whatever we want as long as it's unique. And you can forward this email address to vendors, to your employees, to your staff, anyone that might be sending in documents to Bill.com. As the invoices come in, IVA, the intelligent virtual assistant, will automatically begin to pull information from that invoice. So as we can see here, our vendor, Hacienda Design, has sent us an invoice for $800. And we also know the due date here as well. Right-hand side, we can see the actual copy of the invoice that was sent. So we can go in, look at what IVA has pulled for us. Here's the invoice number and exactly where IVA pulled it. Invoice date, due date, the amount. It recognized the vendor automatically for us. So there's really nothing else we needed to do. Now, in this particular case, I started to split out into multiple accounts based on line items. In doing that, I can very quickly click and it automatically copies and pastes the amount for me as well. So moving around and entering bills into Bill.com is almost automatic. Very little manual entry, sometimes none at all. Down here at the bottom, we can see that it's also going to be routed for approval automatically to Michelle Schiffer. Michelle, in this case, is our default approver for this company. I can also add approvers on the fly. And I can also set up approval groups. You know, if I were to have a payables department or multiple people that were allowed to approve throughout this process. You can also set up approval rules within Bill.com that allows your bills to be automatically routed to the correct approvers at any time. Just a couple of examples. I can set an approval rule where anything over $10,000 will also be routed to our CFO within our company. Or if it's a marketing invoice, I can set it so that when the department or the account is set to a marketing account, it will automatically be routed to our marketing manager or our director on that side. Those are just a couple of examples. There are many, many different rules that you can create to automatically route your approvals. In this case, there's nothing that I need to change. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this one. And that bill has automatically been routed for approval. Just to show a couple of other quick examples, as you can see, this invoice was flagged with a red duplicate flag. This tells us that we've already processed this invoice. And it makes sure that we don't double pay or overpay, right? So this is great to have as a check and balance, just to make sure that we're not paying extra. We can also see right here exactly what the duplicate is. And so we can view and make sure that everything is correct. And we can just get rid of this one so we don't overpay. Next one I can jump into, and I don't even need to leave this screen, in fact. From the inbox, I can see that all of the correct information was pulled, that it's going to the right account, the correct approver, and without having to do any manual entry, I've already routed that bill for approval. So those are just a couple of examples of how IVA, the intelligent virtual assistant, is helping you to stay on top of all of your invoices, making sure things are entered correctly. You're not over or double paying. So now what I'll do is I'm going to log out of our accounting role. And let's log in as our approver. So as I log in, first thing that we're going to see is all of our approvals that are pending for us. Now, as an approver role, we don't see anything else in Bill.com. There are controls for each of your roles within that separation of duties. so that they only see what they need to see. In this case, the approver only sees the approvals pending for bills and for vendor credits. Even if we access the inbox, we can't see any of the information in there, but we do have the ability to upload and send documents in when needed. From the approval screen, I can see everything that I need to approve from here. Very quickly, I can go through and approve. I can bulk or batch approve these, or I can click in to view the actual detail. Left-hand side, again, we see the copy of the invoice. Right-hand side, everything that was entered by Iva. Here's the split accounts that we just did earlier. Everything's good to go. There's nothing else I need to do. Next bill, everything looks good, but maybe there is something wrong. We can quickly deny and communicate with the other roles within the process as well. And I can say, hey, Max, who is our accountant, waiting on an updated invoice. So no phone call, no email needed. Max will receive a notification that we're waiting on a new invoice, and it keeps everything flowing through our AP process. So we've approved a couple of bills. Now let's go pay them. I'm going to log out here from our approver. And we're going to log in as our payer. We have 3 different people within this separation of duties in this accounts payable workflow. So when our payer logs in, we see the same thing. We see our front screen. We can go to bills that need to be paid. And here's everything that's pending for us. We can see that they've been approved and ready for payment. Now within this demo account, I just have checks, but we also have ACH, of course, international payments. We have vendor direct, which is the card payment that I mentioned earlier. All of that would be shown here, and it would give you an estimated arrival date based on those payments types. On the left-hand side, we can see the invoice numbers. We can very quickly batch or bulk pay these. If I want to pay certain ones on the 15th of the month and pay the other ones on the 1st of next month, I can do that very quickly. And the important thing is here with the check, you have to mail a check when it needs to be mailed. With Bill.com, you can also pre-schedule these checks to be sent. So if I know that a check needs to be mailed out next month, I can go ahead and pre-schedule it now, and it won't be mailed or cashed until I intended it to next month. I can click in and view the detail, just as the approver did. Here I have a timestamp of when it was approved. Everything else looks good. There's nothing else I need to do. I'm the last set of eyes to make sure that everything was done properly so that we can pay this bill. Vendor information, everything looks good. Bank account is here. Nothing I need to do there. We can have multiple bank accounts within Bill.com. I can see when it will arrive. Don't mind this being late. This is my demo account. Bill.com is built to make sure that you're paying those bills on time. I'll get a confirmation that the check is being sent, who it's being sent to, what funding account it's coming from, and I even have the vendor's email address already locked in. So they're going to receive a notification, the payment's on the way, and they can track it themselves. They don't have to call us or bug the accounting firm either. Save that. And now we can view within the audit trail all of the payments going out, including the one that I just scheduled. We can see when it will be processed, when the actual check is sent, when it's cashed, and we'll even get the check images here. So you have a full audit trail, every single moving part within your AP workflow, all of the documents attached, everything's timestamped, and it keeps you audit ready at all times. This is especially great for our nonprofit clients that we work with. We help them automate compliance.
And that's the power of Bill.com. So thank you for joining me here today. And to learn more about Bill.com, visit us at cashflow.bill.com/QBC 2021.
Hi, my name is Megan Morelli. I'm a senior new partner consultant at Dext, and I'm here to show you how you can streamline your bookkeeping processes with our tools Dext Prepare and Dexed Commerce. Both of these tools integrate directly with QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktops to support all of your clients. Our goal at Dext is to eliminate the manual admin and data entry so you can have more time to focus on what really matters, which is advising your clients and growing your firm. Our powerful software provides real-time financial insights so you can stay one step ahead of the game with your clients, and our automated data entry frees up your time for billable advisory services. Some of the features we'll be looking at in Dext Prepare are request paperwork. Dext will show you all the transactions your clients have not submitted documents for, and you can request that outstanding paperwork through the client's app, and then use in-app chat to get clarity quickly. Dext automates the data entry by extracting every line of detail from receipts, invoices, and bank statements with 99% accuracy. And then we can automatically pull data from over 1,400 suppliers like Amazon, so you don't have to chase your clients for that information. We also help you manage your team by identifying potential backlogs to help you allocate team resources and collaborate in real time. You can avoid surprises ahead of submission deadlines and get real-time responses with our built-in chat tools. You can avoid surprises ahead of submission deadlines and get real-time responses with our built-in chat tools. We also help you simplify expense reporting and approvals through automated creation, population, and completion of expense reports, and the ability to assign designated approvers. Dexed Commerce consolidates the data from all your e-commerce clients' digital sales platforms and converts each transaction into a standardized and itemized format. Get sales data line by line by plugging into the largest e-commerce sites, seller marketplaces, and point of sales platforms like Amazon, Shopify, Stripe, and PayPal, and get all that data in one place and in the same format. Then Dexed Commerce helps you correctly assign tax rates at point of sale and assess cutoff periods in order to remain compliant, both domestically and internationally. And we know that accurate reporting with data that really means something is difficult in this sector. So Dexed Commerce enables you to automatically export real-time reports, removing the need for journal entries to account for sales or to gross them up. So first, I'll be walking you through a demo of Dext Prepare, and then my colleague Steve Jacobs will walk you through Dexed Commerce. So Dext Prepare is a solution to help you collect receipts, invoices, and other source documents from your clients, and then automate the entry of those documents into QuickBooks. This is your client dashboard where you can set up all your clients and manage them all from your partner account. To view a client, you would just click on them here, and this brings up the client account. So first thing we see is the cost space here, where all of the receipts and invoices sit before you publish them to QuickBooks. If we were setting this client up for the first time, the first thing we would do is link their account to QuickBooks by clicking Connections under Manage Client. In this case, this demo account is already linked with QuickBooks, but you would be able to set up that integration here by clicking QuickBooks and just following the steps. This will automatically sync over their list of suppliers and chart of accounts and any tracking codes and bank accounts from QuickBooks. Then after you set up this client, they can start submitting the receipts. So there's a couple ways for the client to add documents to Dext. So the goal is to make it as easy as possible for the client to capture all their source documents in the moment as soon as they buy something. If they get a paper receipt, they can use the mobile app on their phone. This is the most popular submission method. As soon as they get a receipt, they take a picture, then they can throw away that receipt. If they get a receipt in their email, they just forward that email to their Dext email address, and it goes into their Dext account. Every employee at the client company gets their own user login to the app and their own unique email address, so you know who is submitting what. And they can also scan and upload if they have a scanner. And then we also have something called Invoice Fetch, where we partner with over 2,000 suppliers like Amazon to get receipts automatically. So if you have clients buying a lot from Amazon, they can come in here and link their account. You can connect it for them, or you can ask the client to connect. And then anytime they buy something from Amazon, we would get that receipt automatically. We also do this with PayPal, Venmo, Home Depot, Verizon, Staples, all of those big suppliers. Then anything that the client submits or that we fetch just pulls into this inbox here where Dext reads everything on that receipt. So you can click in here to see the image of the receipt and see everything we've pulled off. If the client enters a description, they can do that right after they take a picture on the app, or they can assign any tracking codes on the app. And then if you had any other questions on this receipt, you could come in here to ask what the client purchased, and that would send a text message to the client's phone, linking them to this receipt in the app, so they can respond right there on their phone. So it makes communication really easy when you do have those questions. And then Dext actually reads the payment method off that document. So you would link these payment methods to a bank account in QuickBooks. So when you publish that over, it would automatically link up with the right bank feeds and credit card feeds in QuickBooks. If this was an unpaid bill, it would go into QuickBooks as a bill. If it was cash, it would go in as cash, etc. Then after you publish all these documents to QuickBooks, we store a backup of all those documents in our archive. So you have an image of all those receipts attached to the transaction in QuickBooks and the bank feeds. You also have everything backed up in here. So if your client gets audited, you can come in here and search for a specific supplier or a certain amount range or date range or any of these fields and download exactly what you need. We also have a couple other tools just to help you get everything you need from the client. So we have the bank feeds indexed. So you could click into a bank account here and see which transactions they have not submitted a receipt for yet. So you can see they've submitted a receipt for this, but nothing else. And let's say you need these 2 receipts from the client. You can just request those in Dext. Select the employee. You can include a note and send that to their phone or send it via email. But this makes it really easy for you to get everything you need from the client if the client forgets to submit a lot of things or just hasn't been submitting receipts in the past. We also do expense reports in Dext. So if you have clients that need to reimburse employees, those employees can add a receipt to an expense report in Dext. Then you could open this up to see what they need to be reimbursed for and publish this to QuickBooks as a bill. And we also read sales invoices on the accounts receivable side. So if you have any clients making sales invoices in just Word or Excel, they can upload those documents here, and we would push this into the accounts receivable side in QuickBooks. And then we have some supplier rules you can set up to automate as much of that bookkeeping as possible. So you can set up rules to auto-publish certain suppliers into QuickBooks. So if you know that 99 Ranch Market is always going to be the same transaction with the same category every month, you can set that up to auto-publish, so you don't have to review it in Dext every time. Or we can auto-extract line items from a receipt. So if you have to code things towards multiple different categories or different tracking codes, you can split those line items, auto-extract those line items in Dext. And then there's other rules you can set up for each supplier. So overall, this makes it as easy as possible for the client to get their documents to you, and then as effortless for you to get all that information into QuickBooks.
Dexcommerce is here to simplify, standardize, and streamline the accounting process. Accountants, bookkeepers, and e-commerce businesses can consolidate and unify transactions from all of their marketplaces and payment providers onto the Dexcommerce platform. View and manipulate all sales, refunds, expenses, and reimbursements in one place. The home page has some conveniently placed information and serves as the main landing spot for you and your clients. Navigate to Transactions, Connected Accounts, Bulk Exports, and Settings on the left side. Switch between clients and manage teams from the dropdown. View connected account data front and center. Easily create a team for your clients. If you are a Dext Prepare user, this is the equivalent to an account. Accounting firms create this space for their clients' business to work with their own connected integrations. Click Create New Team, then follow the prompts. Send a ready-made email invitation to clients with a direct link to connect by clicking Invite Members from the Manage Teams page. Enter one or more email addresses, then click Send Invitation. With just a few clicks, clients make connections to Dexcommerce's integrations, then the data starts rolling in. The sales, expenses, and accounting connections follow a very similar process. Select your type, click Connect, then establish the connection with the admin credentials. Dexcommerce then automatically fetches the data, product and service categories and accounts from QBO, and transactions from your sales connections. Think about your current process. Endless spreadsheets, multiple reports and invoices in multiple formats, missing and incomplete data. Now imagine all of that displayed in a sleek, easy-to-read, consistent format. Utilize the transaction snapshot for a quick peek at performance, trends, and specialty campaigns. Visually understand key accounting data, then supplement advisory activities with complete and accurate data. Snapshot data is dynamic. Watch your data change as you filter to specific accounts, search products and services, taxes, fees, customers, whatever you may need. Use a pre-built time frame or custom date range, or apply filters. View transactional data that Dexcommerce has collected down to the line item. Access a wide range of information regardless of the platform from which it came. Originating accounts, billing and shipping details, monetary denominations, commissions, taxes. If the data is there to be found, Dexcommerce finds it. Export transactions to QBO with just a few clicks of a button. Click Export and Dexcommerce helps you with the rest. As you export, memory mappings are automatically created behind the scenes that remember and route transactions to their specific account. Enter bulk exports. Send 5 to 500 transactions to your accounting platform with a single click of a button. Send all transactions or filter for specific platforms, search criteria, dates, or transaction types. Bulk transactions provide significant flexibility in the routing of transactions to your connected QBO account by allowing customers, accounts, products and services, and additional classifications to be selected and remembered right from the Dexcommerce platform. Set custom export preferences for sales and expenses, from summaries to line items, SKU matching, tax displays, and contact information. Dexcommerce understands the importance of customization when it comes to your accounting processes. With Dexcommerce's already robust platform, save hours processing transactions, take the sting out of maintaining compliance, find value using real-time information, and provide a comprehensive and confident experience to your clients. With newly launched integrations and features, and more on the way, fully automating e-commerce and e-POS accounting is a reality with Dexcommerce.
So some key takeaways from Dext Prepare. We help you reduce manual tasks and increase productivity by saving at least 1 hour per client per week. We're the industry-leading OCR technology for image extraction, allowing you to take on 50% more clients without increasing headcount, better plan your resources with high-value clients, and we have easy submission methods, including the mobile app, email in, Invoice Fetch, and scan and upload. Receipts are then stored for 10 years and easy to retrieve the source document if needed. Some key takeaways from Dexcommerce. We increase efficiency and simplify data across all sales platforms, enhance automation, drive consistency. We have direct integrations with QuickBooks, and we deliver comprehensive details. please feel free to give us a call or schedule a demo to learn more about how Dext can supercharge your firm.
Hey everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's session. My name is Ryan Embry, and I head up partnerships at Practice Ignition. For those of you that are new to Practice Ignition is an application that will help you manage your client engagements and get paid for your services. During today's session, we'll walk through a quick demo of the product. But first, I'd like to introduce my co-host.
Hey everyone, my name is Josh Lance. I am the founder and managing director of Lance CPA Group. Lance CPA Group is a firm I founded about 6 years ago that specializes in working with craft breweries and digital agencies and providing accounting and tax services. In addition to that, I'm also the head of accounting at Practice Ignition. My role there is really to help accountants build better firms using Practice Ignition in their practice.
And Josh, from your point of view, why should accountants or bookkeepers be looking at an app like Practice Ignition?
Yeah, Practice Ignition is kind of your one-stop shop for managing your client engagements, from sending out your proposals to getting an engagement letter signed, to getting paid from your clients and managing that whole invoice and billing process. It really allows you to streamline that process when you're within your firm, have a more automated process, and ultimately run your firm better as a result.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the product so you can see how Practice Ignition works.
All right, now let's take a look in Practice Ignition so you can see how it works. First, we're going to look here at the client acceptance view. So what will your client see once you've sent them a proposal in Practice Ignition? Josh, can you walk us through what the client experience is like in Practice Ignition?
Yeah, so the first thing you see here is the brochure. This is a document you can put in Practice Ignition that kind of highlights your firm. It kind of shows how you're unique, shows why they may want to work with you. It's just a great way to kind of show your branding of what your firm looks like, who you are, what you do. If you don't have anything like this, we can create it for you, so you have that nice branding element. Second here is they get to see the options on the proposal. So this is a 3-option proposal. You don't have to do 3 options if you don't want, but in this case, we have a 3-option proposal with different options in there: bronze, silver, and gold, each with different levels of service and different items in there. Which we show as recommended, which is that gold one. They can go ahead and select that one that they want to do. They'll be shown that says they selected the gold package. And then we go to the next screen here, which will lay out in detail the scope of services under each of the different services included in that package. So it makes it real easy for your client to see what they are buying, what's included in the scope for each level of service. And as a great way to, if you ever have any questions or issues later on, always come back to this in your engagement letter to see, okay, well, here's what my scope of services was for that work. On the next screen, we see the payment schedule. This payment schedule shows the different payments that they'll be making. This first one, for example, is the accounting services for $1,020 every month. This is a recurring service that happens starting on November 1st, 2021, and goes on into the future. We also, if it's like the tax services at the end there, as a build on completion one, it's just a one-time service there. So it's really clear and easy for your clients to see what they're going to pay and when they're going to pay it. Next, we have our payment methods. This is where they enter their payment methods, whether it's a credit card or a bank account. With the bank account, we can verify instantly with Plaid just by them selecting their bank and entering their user information into there. We can also do the micro deposits as well, if that works too. We'll enter in the credit card information, select that credit card, and move on to our engagement letter. So this is the actual engagement letter itself. In here, that kind of has all the terms and conditions. Anything you want in here, this is fully customizable by you. They can then check that box saying they accept the above terms, enter their name to sign the proposal, and then hit the accept button. And then in doing so, that now accepts the proposal. You'll get notified of that. They'll get a notification of that as well. And we're all set to go. So very simple and easy on your client end, really good user experience for them to go through that proposal process, getting their payment information in there and signing that engagement letter all in one place.
Awesome. And you mentioned that kind of client experience being a big factor. Maybe just share with everyone what you were doing kind of before Practice Ignition and how this really has kind of advanced your offerings.
Yeah, before Practice Ignition, we're doing everything very manually. So, manual proposals going out to our clients, get them to choose an option, let us know what it was, then a manual engagement letter going out the door, waiting for them to then print, sign it, scan it back to us. And there's just a lot of back and forth and just a lot of administrative effort involved. And so, for example, prior to us using Practice Ignition, when we send out engagement letters for tax returns, that may be a week-long process to do all that work. Now we're able to do it in Practice Ignition within a matter of hours. So it really cuts down that administrative burden and just provides a much better client experience, as we've seen here.
All right, now we're in Practice Ignition. So this is the view that you would see as an accountant or bookkeeper. So you can kind of manage your proposals. What we're going to walk through next is how we're connected to QuickBooks Online. And then we'll show you how we actually created that proposal in that client view that we just referenced. So when you're getting started with Practice Ignition, it's quite easy to get set up. There's a few things that you need to do. So first, you'd go into the Apps tab and connect to QuickBooks Online. The way our integration with QuickBooks works is we'll automatically create invoices based on the schedule laid out in your proposal. And when those, once we collect payment off those invoices, we'll mark them as paid. So a really streamlined workflow for you to manage your own practices books. If you are using a workflow tool such as Intuit Practice Management, you can set that up in the Apps tab as well. That way we can kick off jobs to automatically get created once your proposals are accepted. All right, Josh, now let's talk through how we can actually get that proposal created in a matter of minutes that we just showed on that first bit.
Yeah, so when we're in the accountant's end view of building a proposal, first thing we'll do is we'll select the client there. And then on the right-hand side, you have this great proposal template list here. These are things you can customize yourself, but we can select a proposal template here. Let's do that monthly accounting services here. And what that does is it uploads and puts all the things that need to be in there for that type of service. So it really streamlines and reduces down the effort, especially for those services you have there recurring that you kind of do over and over again. Within here, we can change our different billing rules. So in this case, we're going to start this billing as of November 1st, showing that I'll build every month on the 1st of the month. Starting November 1st. We can also change prices within here. So maybe this client, we have a different price. We're going to increase that price. We can just quickly edit it there. We can add in an additional service here of payroll services, for example. So we can quickly edit this proposal to have what we want. All these are going to go out automatically to our clients and be sent automatic and billed automatic on the 1st of the month. So real quick and easy way of doing that. Next, we can go on to the payments method. So here's where we can toggle on different options. So maybe we don't want to do credit cards here. We can always toggle that off if we choose. We can also decide if we're going to make this payment required or not. We'd highly recommend that you do keep the required payment toggle on. So that ensures you get paid for all the work that you do automatically. Next, we go on to the next screen here. This screen will go over our engagement letter terms, right? So in here, we can have multiple different templates for engagement letters. And if you have your own template or own engagement letter you've already kind of created, we can always upload that in here for you. So you can use that in sending out your engagement letters. Next, we move to the presentation. This is our way of really customizing this to our client, being able to put those personalized touch, adding in a brochure maybe, or a video. This video could be customized. It could be a standard video on your firm. Really makes it simple and easy to do. We can then edit any of the emails that go out after the fact, edit it the way we want it edited. So really allows us to have control over that presentation to our clients. Once we feel good about all of this, we hit the next button and we click send, and we have it there by going from proposal here to hopefully getting paid and engage with our clients in a matter of minutes. So real easy on that end. Again, we'll see this on the client end here. So they're going to get this proposal here. They get that notification that we put there personalized to them. They get to see the scope of services that we're proposing. We get to then see the schedule of payments, billing $9.50 every month, starting the 1st of the month of November. Next, we select our payment details. Again, we can enter our different payment details if we need to. They see that engagement letter. Again, they would just check the box, enter their name in here, and be able to be done. So they hit the accept button, and just like we saw before, now we have a successful proposal there, and everyone's notified, and we were able to go through that process in just a matter of minutes.
Great. Josh, thanks for walking us through how you can use Practice Ignition to go to proposal to paid in a matter of minutes.
Josh, what would be your advice to the accountants and bookkeepers joining in today on how to get started with Practice Ignition?
Yeah, I would say maybe start using Practice Ignition with a subset of clients, or maybe with a particular service that you're doing. So maybe you want to send out your engagement letters to Practice Ignition this first go around and kind of test that out, see how that works in your firm and see the successes that you have. I think by doing that, that'll allow you to get familiar with the product and ultimately be able to replicate that success across to your other clients.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. We have a special offer for QuickBooks Connect attendees that are new to Practice Ignition. We'll offer you 30% off your first year on the professional annual plan. I'll go ahead and put a link into the chat so you can go ahead and get started with the free trial. And you can also check us out at practiceignition.com. Thanks.